All right, guys, I have a dilemma. How can this man
But daddy is a state of mind, you know what I'm saying? I'm your daddy.
be the same person as this man?
No, when I wake up, I've lost something.
I don't know how he does it. And before this becomes like an obsession video about Pedro Pascal, let's just get into my review of The Last of Us, my midway review. Guys, I did one reaction video on this channel, and I got 18 views on it. 18. Meaning no one cared to watch me react or really talk about it. And I said, you know what? That's fine. This is maybe the people on this channel just don't want to hear me talk about it. And I put it to rest, and I've just been watching it on my own every Sunday. But as the episodes have, continued to go, I have hit a wall because I have no one to express myself with. No one else who I live with watches this show. I am going to be doing a full-on review of the whole show with my cousin on my podcast, but we still got 3 episodes for that. And I just, I woke up today and I was like, I just want to make this video where I could just talk to you, hopefully somebody, about my love for this show. So let's just talk about The Last of Us episodes 1 through 6. My knowledge of the game. My knowledge of this game. I have no knowledge of the game. I've never played the game. I didn't hear about it. I had no idea this game existed. To me, I'm watching this with fresh eyes as it comes. I have no idea. And you know what? I like it that way, because that way I don't really go into episodes being like, well, I know what's going to happen, or maybe, you're not having that kind of in the back of your mind. You kind of are just going in fresh eyes, not knowing. Kind of like if you watched a movie but didn't read the book kind of thing, One of the best shows HBO has ever put on, Game of Thrones. I had never read the books. I still haven't read the books. So I was able to watch the show without any sort of background or knowledge or knowing that the Red Wedding was going to happen. This show is a show that I look forward to every single week, guys. Every single week, I'm like, I cannot wait for The Last of Us. Right now, I am itching. I am literally pacing every day, being like, when is it Sunday? Because I need to see Pedro Pascal again on my screen. Literally every freaking Sunday, I'm like, I am hype, I am ready, and I didn't think this show was going to be like that. And this goes into, what my actual initial thoughts of the show, what I thought it was going to be. I thought this show was going to be about zombies. I thought it was going to be very The Walking Dead. Guys, I was very, very wrong. There's zombies, but they're not called zombies in the show. They're called infected. But the zombies aren't the forefront of the show. It's so much more about this father-daughter relationship between Joel and Ellie. And guys, people, at this point, I think people have come around. But I know at first people were really hating on the casting of the show. I mean, I don't know so much about Pedro Pascal, but I know people were really hating on the Bella Ramsey, the comparisons of the people from the game to the show. This is its own thing, and I think it's better if we just don't compare. That's my number 1 thought. And number 2, if you are on episode 6 and you do not see the amazing chemistry that is Pedro Pascal and Bella Ramsey, I don't know what rock you're living on, what rock you're living under, who has you blinded, I don't know what it is. But guys, their chemistry as Joel and Ellie is one of the best on-screen chemistry I have seen in a very long time. And this is a very different kind of chemistry because obviously it's not like a romantic chemistry. I will always say Jonathan Bailey and Simone Ashley are some of the best on-screen love chemistry I've ever seen. But this is a different type of chemistry. This is a father-daughter type of relationship kind of chemistry on screen. And they are so good. Anytime they are on screen together, I am zoned in. I feel the love between these characters. You feel how much Joel cares for Ellie, no matter how much he tries to pretend he doesn't. You see how much Ellie is learning to see this man as a father figure in her life. You see it coming together. There are cute little moments where they're getting to know each other. Those cute moments when they're just laughing, and it was specifically episode 4. I thought that was a genius, beautiful episode of really watching these characters really, really just fall into the roles. he sees her as a daughter figure and she sees him as a father figure. And even though, you know, episode 6 was freaking nuts, oh my god, it killed me, because it was so devastating to see Joel tell Ellie, "You're right, you're not my daughter, and I'm sure as hell not your dad." I was like, oh god, Joel, you're ripping me apart. Stop it, please stop. It was so sad to watch, because you're seeing how Ellie's just like fighting for this like guy to just open up to her and just be like, "Hey, like, I do care about you, we're gonna go through this together." And he is so closed off at this point. You know, he's trying to open up, but then he closes back in because he just can't fathom the idea of really caring for someone as much as, like, you know, he cared for his daughter, who, as we all know, died in episode 1, and it was devastating. I cried. If you watched my reaction, you can go watch it now if you're interested. Don't know if you are, but if you are, you can go watch it. I cried in that episode. It was devastating to see his daughter literally die in his arms. I thought she was gonna die from a bite or something, but no, she just died from like being shot at, because the military was effed up and was like, well, we're just gonna kill people who are hurt, even though we don't know anything at this point. That was devastating. It was such a devastating scene, so I can understand why, you know, he knows he's getting close to this girl, and you know, he knows that he's starting to care for her, and he is scared that he's going to fail her, that he is going to get her killed. And it's beautiful to see. I mean, we had in that last episode 6, we had some of the best moments with Joel, with, you know, him finally breaking down to Tom, finally letting him know how he was feeling. It was beautiful. Pedro Pascal for the Emmy, please. Oh man, I'm pretty sure he's going to be nominated. I mean, winning is probably going to be rough, because we just found out the Succession is ending after the season, and they're probably going to want to give all the awards to Succession this year. But I think he really deserves a win for that performance alone. I mean, it was heart-wrenching to watch. Heart-wrenching. And that leads me into my next thing about how heart-wrenching so much of this show has been. I have been through the ringer with the amount of people they have introduced into our lives, and then they rip them apart by the end of the hour. So, you know, episode 5, we had Henry and Sam be introduced into this world, two brothers, who then at the end, one of them gets affected, and then he has to shoot his brother, and then he shoots himself, and it was devastating to watch. Amazing portrayals from both actors, one who is playing a deaf character and is deaf in real life, and then you have the older brother, who was also just fantastic acting all around. It was heart-wrenching. This show is so good at really introducing characters to you in that first freaking minute of the show, that by the end of 50 minutes, you care about them. You care about them so much, and then they just can't let us be happy. So they're like, well, this person's gonna die. So yeah. Then we also had in episode 3, we had some awesome introductions of Bill and Frank, which I hear is a deep part, is that the word I want to say? Is a different from the game. In the game, like, Bill and Frank aren't necessarily together, and it's not like, you don't really know their history, and it's kind of implied that they're gay, but it's not really like said. It's just kind of implied. But no, episode 3 went into how Bill met Frank, and how they both end up, you know, passing away at the end of the show, which is also different from the game. Bill doesn't die, only Frank does. Very, very different from the game. But that episode was heart-wrenching as well, to, you know, meet a man who was so who wanted to be alone, who didn't want to be with anybody, to finding really the love of his life in the middle of this, I was going to say pandemic, in the middle of this apocalypse world, and literally realizing that he didn't care about anything until he met this man. And then Frank, being younger than Bill, ends up being the person who gets a disease and is dying. And at the end, you know, they both decide, like, let's just go out together. And it actually is beautiful to see, because they both actually lived out their lives in the middle of this apocalypse without the horrors that other people were living, and they both decided to go out on their own terms in a beautiful way. And devastating for us to watch because, we saw literally their love grow over 20 years on screen in a 1 hour episode. Only real good TV can do that to you. And oh my God, I can't. The guest actors on this show have all been fantastic additions to the story. And I can't wait to see the Emmy nominations fly because this show is just going to be just go for it. And yeah, I'm just really, really impressed with every single episode. Every single episode gets better and better and better. We also had, I can't even forget, we also had the character of Tess, who passed away literally in the second episode. We met her in one episode, and in episode 2, she was gone. And I was shocked. I was devastated. She gets bit, and then she sacrifices herself so that way Joel and Ellie can get away. And it's just like, my God, this world that they're living in. And she also had one of the most horrific deaths on screen. It was, let's never rewatch that again. But the show just gets better and better and better every single week. And the characters are also progressing and evolving, and their arc is going somewhere. Last thing I really want to touch upon about how good this show is the set pieces, the location. Now, they filmed this in Alberta, Canada. You can definitely tell I live in Canada. And it is beautiful. Last episode, the winter scenes were, oh my God, the location, so freaking good. I absolutely love the way that they're using Canada as a canvas for this world that they're living in. The set pieces in the first couple of episodes, I mean, I'm like, what's real? What's not? Did they build this? Is this there? Is this green screen? Like, it just looked so freaking good. I know there's a lot of hidden stuff from, like, the game. Like, oh, that's directly from the game. I don't know. But to me, it all looks beautifully. The set design, the cinematography, the shots, it's fantastic. The music as well. And I know the music by Gustavo is from the game, really taken from the game. It's the same guy, so people love it. It's so freaking awesome. I love it. Lastly, I do want to talk about, like I mentioned, kind of like to circle right back around about the story and how important this is, because I'm so happy that this show has turned out to be more than just a zombie show. But let's kill zombies. We've had some episodes with some amazing, infected. We've had bloaters. We've had clickers. We've had regular, the first stage. We've had it all. And it's scary, tense, obviously, in moments. But it's also remembering as well. And The Walking Dead kind of did this a little bit, or a lot, where it's really the human people that are the real danger in this world. It's not necessarily just the infected. It's the people you're going to come across that are going to want to hurt you. And then having Joel and Ellie live in this world and their relationship and their bond growing is just, it's at the core of this story. Like, they are the core. And I'm just so happy. I'm literally so happy to watch the show every freaking week, like I mentioned before. And I just want to give all the praise to Pedro Pascal and Bella Ramsey, because they really are fantastic in these roles. As an actress myself, when I watch this show, I'm really just like taking in the juice and the crafts that is being unfolded in front of me, because it's so freaking amazing to watch. Something about Pedro Pascal, just like, and he is a huge obsession in the world right now, but like something about how he conducts himself in interviews and behind the scenes versus like what he presents on screen, two different people. Like, it's beautiful to watch. It's a testament to what a great actor he is.
Your Instagram.
And Bella Ramsey as well. She is killing this role. She's only 19 years old. We know her from Game of Thrones, where I loved her character. She was freaking feisty and super fun. And she's so good in this. She knows who Ellie is, and she's playing Ellie her way. I heard it's a little bit different, and I think also Pedro Pascal are playing the characters like they have similarities to the game, but also they are putting their own spin on these characters. But Bella Ramsey's English. You would never know that by watching the show because her accent is so freaking good. I don't hear her slip, not even a little one, not even a little bit. Sometimes you can hear the slip sometimes in certain actors going back and forth, but with her, you would think she was from the US of A. You would not have known that she is from England. She is that good. She brings this emotional connection to Joel to light so beautifully. And after the end of episode 6, I am a little bit scared. I don't know what's gonna happen next. Joel fell off his horse, he got stabbed, and Ellie's just like, I don't know how to do this without you. You have to wake up. And I'm just like, oh my god. No. It's too early. If you're gonna kill Pedro Pascal, it's not gonna be now. There are 3 more episodes left, and I cannot wait for Sunday because I need to know what happens. I need to know what happens. I have one fear for this show, and it's just, I don't know how this is gonna end, because like, is she gonna, I feel like the show would just be over, or the game would be over, if it was just like, yeah, we got a vaccine and everyone's gonna be cured. Like, obviously it can't be that easy. Something tells me it just can't happen, that it's just gonna be like a nice little bow, like, yep, she goes to the Fireflies and here they develop a vaccine. Like, it's obviously not going to be that easy, and that scares me because I don't know what that means. And then I'm also scared for, I guess, what season 2 would be, which I'm assuming is going to be The Last of Us Part 2, I think, it's going to be, I'm really scared because a lot of people said they didn't like Part 2, and I'm like, oh god, what does that mean? Like, ooh, I'm not ready, I don't know what that means. I'm a little bit scared for the future of characters, and this is HBO. I also know HBO is a show that can kill off whoever they want to kill off, and I'm not ready. But anyway, guys, I hope you liked this review / thoughts / just me just spilling out what I'm feeling about The Last of Us so far. Like I said, I'm a huge fan of this show, and I can't wait to see what happens on Sunday. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments below. Are you enjoying this show so far? I'm going to assume that most people are. So comment down below. Let me know what your favorite performances have been so far. If you liked this video, give me a thumbs up. It really helps me, helps out the channel. And if you'd like to see more content like this, or if you want to see something completely different, because I cover a lot of different things on this channel, please consider subscribing. It would be so awesome for you to come on over and join my Watchaholic family. But guys, I will see you in my next video. Bye!